Hey everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss the Sonowal Kacharis of Assam. And this is an important topic because it connects society, culture, history, geography, and even current affairs in one place. Let us understand it slide by slide in a simple and exam-oriented way. In the first slide, the focus is on the Sonowal Kacharis as an indigenous community of Assam and on their ethnobotanical knowledge. A recent study identified 39 plants used by the Sonowal Kachari community to treat ailments such as fever, cough, kidney stones, and skin diseases. So this slide is telling us that the community is not only historically important, but also relevant in present-day scientific discussions because traditional medicinal knowledge is now being documented and validated. Moving on, now we look at their demographic identity and official classification. The Sonowal Kacharis are the third largest plain tribe in Assam, and they are officially recognized as a scheduled tribe. This is a very important factual point. The slide also mentions Mongoloid origin, which helps place them in the broader ethnographic profile of Northeast India. If you want to add one more conceptual line from current affairs notes, you should remember that they are regarded as one of the oldest indigenous communities of Assam. So, from an exam point of view, this slide gives you their identity, official status, and anthropological roots together. Now, let us understand where they are located. The main concentration of the Sonowal Kacharis is in Assam, which is their core demographic center. Smaller groups are also found in Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. So if UPSC asks where they are primarily located, the answer is Assam. But you should also remember the smaller spread into neighboring northeastern states. This helps you write a slightly richer answer rather than giving only one state identification. Next, we come to a very interesting part, which is the origin of their name and their historical role. The word Sonowal is linked to gold, and the slide shows that their traditional occupation was panning for gold in river systems during the Ahom kingdom. This is a strong historical identity marker. In other words, their occupational role became central to how the community was named and remembered. So if you're writing a mains answer, you can say that their historical identity was deeply tied to the Ahom state structure and to specialized riverine gold panning under Ahom patronage. Now this slide shows transition over time. On one side, it gives the ancestral linguistic root in the Tibetan language family, and on the other side, it shows present-day language use where Assamese is the primary language and Hindi is also used for communication with outsiders. Economically too, there is a clear shift. Historically, they were linked with gold panning, but in modern times, they are primarily agriculturists. The crops shown here, such as rice, betel nut, sweet potatoes, and cotton, are important to remember. So the key idea of this slide is change with continuity. Their language and occupation have adapted over time, but their identity has remained distinct. This slide is about religion and worship practices, and the central idea is syncretism. The Sonowal Kacharis practice Hinduism, and Lord Shiva is regarded as the primary deity. At the same time, their faith is influenced by folk traditions. That is why the slide shows village shrines, traditional knowledge, and ancestral folklore along with Hindu influence. This is an important nuance. They are not simply a mainstream, temple-centered Hindu community. Their practices retain a distinctly local and indigenous character. So the best phrase to remember here is that they follow folk-influenced Hindu practices, with strong reverence for Shiva and a continued attachment to village shrines and indigenous traditions. Moving further, now we look at the comparison between their historical and modern identity. Earlier, during the Ahom period, they were gold panners and part of a specialized labor system. and their language base was different. Today, they are agriculturists. They speak Assamese and Hindi, and they are officially recognized as scheduled tribe. At the same time, a new dimension has been added, which is their ethnobotanical knowledge and the recognition of 39 medicinal plants. So their identity has evolved from a traditional occupational group to a culturally and scientifically relevant community. The final slide brings the whole theme together. The main message here is assimilation without loss of identity. Over time, the Sonowal Kacharis have adapted linguistically by using Assamese and Hindi, and religiously by integrating Hindu practices centered on Shiva. But at the same time, they have preserved their indigenous roots through village shrines, folk traditions, and traditional medicine. The idea of the ethnobotany loop in this slide shows that their old knowledge systems are not disappearing. In fact, they are being revalidated in the present. So the community today stands at the intersection of history, culture, adaptation, and scientific recognition. Thank you, everyone. Revise this once or twice, and it will become very easy to reproduce in both prelims and mains. All the best, and I'll see you in the next class.